Most people treat their entire body like one uniform surface when it comes to firming products. They slather the same cream from neck to ankle and wonder why nothing's working. Here's the thing. The skin on your inner arm is fundamentally different from the skin on your thighs. Different sebum production, different thickness, different permeability. And that difference is exactly why your expensive firming cream isn't delivering. I'm Julian Thorne, sustainability consultant and fragrance curator specializing in ethical, non-toxic beauty that actually works without the luxury markup. You're listening to Luxury Beauty on a Budget podcast. Quick note before we get going, the research, the data, everything in this episode has been written and verified by a real human expert. That's me. But the voice you're hearing right now is AI generated. Just want to be upfront about that from the start. Really grateful to those of you who've been listening for a while now. Means the world that you keep showing up. And if you're new to the show, glad you found us. We're all about getting luxury beauty results without spending luxury money. New episodes come out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so plenty to dive into. Let's jump right in. The skin on your thighs feels different than the skin on your décolletage. You know this. Yet most body firming routines treat everything from collarbone to ankle as a single, undifferentiated surface. Learning how to choose body firming ingredients based on your specific skin type transforms generic slathering into precision treatment, where concentrated retinoids work without irritation, where caffeine penetrates rather than sits on the surface, and where peptides actually reach the dermis. This guide decodes the formulation chemistry behind firming actives and matches them to your body's microclimates. You'll learn to analyze ingredient percentages, molecular weights, and delivery systems the way a cosmetic chemist would. Most people waste money layering incompatible actives or applying occlusive formulas to naturally oily zones. You'll finish this in about 15 minutes with a personalized ingredient roadmap. This is intermediate-level content. You'll need a basic understanding of active ingredients to get the most out of it. Time-wise, about 15 minutes to read, 2 weeks to trial test your customized routine. Before we get started, here's what you'll need. Your current body firming products so you can audit active percentages and formulation types, pH testing strips, ideally in the 4.5 to 6.5 range for acid-based actives, a magnifying glass or your smartphone camera to read those tiny INCI lists in order, a notebook or spreadsheet to track body zone skin types and ingredient responses, measuring tape for tracking dimensional changes rather than just visual assessment, clean spatula or pump dispensers to prevent bacterial contamination in jar formulas, and access to product manufacturer websites for complete ingredient concentrations not listed on packaging. Now, let's talk about mapping your body's distinct skin zones. Your abdomen doesn't have the same thickness, sebum production, or collagen density as your upper arms. Before you can understand how to choose body-firming ingredients, you need to identify at least 3 distinct zones on your body and classify each independently. Oily-prone zones typically include the upper back, chest, and sometimes the outer thighs, areas with higher sebaceous gland density. These respond well to lightweight, water-based firming serums with niacinamide at 3 to 5% and caffeine at 2 to 5%. Check the link below to see the current price on products that demonstrate this formulation philosophy with 0.1% retinoid in a fast-absorbing base that doesn't leave residue on naturally oily skin. Dry, crepey zones like inner arms, décolletage, and the anterior neck need humectant-rich formulas with multiple molecular weights of hyaluronic acid, ideally 50 to 1,000 kilodaltons for surface plumping, plus 5 to 50 kilodaltons for deeper penetration. Look for formulas with at least 3% sodium hyaluronate combined with occlusives like squalene or ceramides to prevent transepidermal water loss. Normal, resilient zones, typically outer arms and calves, tolerate the broadest range of actives and can handle higher percentages. This is where you can experiment with retinol at 0.3 to 0.5% or time-released retinoid complexes without the sensitization risk you'd face on thinner skin. Take actual notes. pinch the skin on your inner elbow versus your outer thigh, you'll feel thickness differences that determine penetration depth of actives. Moving on to decoding active ingredient concentrations for efficacy thresholds. Most body-firming products hide behind proprietary blends, but knowing how to choose body-firming ingredients requires understanding minimum effective concentrations. Without reaching these thresholds, you're applying expensive moisturizer with trace actives that won't stimulate measurable change. Retinol requires 0.25 to 1% for collagen synthesis stimulation. Below 0.25%, you're getting antioxidant benefits, but not meaningful cell turnover. Many budget formulas contain 0.05 to 0.1% retinol, enough to market the ingredient, insufficient to firm skin. Look for retinol listed in the first 5 ingredients, or better yet, brands that print the percentage directly on packaging. Caffeine needs 2 to 5% to reduce puffiness and improve microcirculation. Below 2%, the vasoconstriction effects are negligible. Compare price per ounce at effective concentrations. A 4% caffeine serum at around $15 for 6 ounces offers better value than a luxury cream with unlisted caffeine percentage for around $80 per 6 ounces. Peptide complexes vary wildly. Palmityl tripeptide 1 and palmityl tetrapeptide 7, that's matricil 3000, should total 3 to 8% for visible firming. Single peptides like acetyl hexapeptide 8 work at 5 to 10%. The molecular weight matters too. Peptides under 500 Daltons penetrate better than larger complexes. Smaller peptides like copper tripeptide 1 at 340 Daltons reach the dermis. Larger ones like palmityl oligopeptide at 1,000+ Daltons work primarily in the epidermis. Niacinamide functions at 2 to 5% for barrier reinforcement and elasticity improvement. Higher percentages, 10% and up, are unnecessary and may cause flushing on body skin with compromised barrier function. Check manufacturer websites for technical specifications. Many European and Korean brands list active percentages in downloadable ingredient documents, even when packaging omits them. For clinical validation, search PubMed for the specific ingredient plus minimum effective concentration to see what dermatological research actually supports. Next step, matching penetration vehicles to your skin's permeability. The same active at the same percentage performs differently in a gel versus an oil-based cream. How to choose body-firming ingredients includes understanding delivery systems that match your skin's ability to absorb formulas. If you're applying a heavy occlusive to naturally oily skin, most actives sit on the surface and rub off on clothing. If you use a watery serum on extremely dry skin, evaporation outpaces absorption. Anhydrous formulas, that's oil-based with no water, work best for crepey, thin skin with compromised barrier function. Squalane, caprylic triglycerides, or plant oils suspend actives like retinol and deliver them while preventing moisture loss. Look for formulas where the oil phase comes before aqua or water in the INCI list. These feel initially greasy but absorb within 5 to 8 minutes on properly exfoliated skin. Gel-cream hybrids balance humectants and emollients for normal skin. These typically list water first, then glycerin or hyaluronic acid, followed by a lightweight emollient like dimethicone or cetyl alcohol. Ideal for arms, legs, and any zone that tolerates a thin film without greasiness or tightness. Serum formulas, water-based with low viscosity, penetrate fastest but require layering with an occlusive on dry skin. Perfect for oily zones like the upper back or chest where you want caffeine or niacinamide delivery without added richness. Apply to damp skin immediately after showering for enhanced penetration. Water content in the stratum corneum increases by 30 to 40% within 3 minutes of water exposure. Cyclodextrin encapsulation and liposomal delivery improve penetration of larger molecules like peptides. When you see liposomal retinol or cyclodextrin complex, the active is wrapped in a lipid or sugar molecule that escorts it deeper into skin. These formulations often cost around 20 to 30% more than standard suspensions, but deliver results at lower active percentages. 0.15% encapsulated retinol may perform like 0.3% standard retinol. Test absorption time. Apply a quarter-sized amount to your inner forearm. If it's fully absorbed in under 3 minutes, it's too light for dry skin. If it's still tacky after 10 minutes, it's too heavy for oily zones. Let's talk about layering actives by pH and molecular size. Efficacy depends on application order when you're using multiple firming actives. Understanding how to choose body-firming ingredients means knowing which formulas enhance each other and which render expensive actives inert through pH incompatibility or occlusion.
Start with lowest pH, 3.0 to 4.0. Vitamin C serums, L-ascorbic acid specifically, and AHAs like glycolic or lactic acid work at acidic pH. Apply these to cleansed, dry skin first. Wait 3 minutes for pH to normalize before layering. Body skin tolerates glycolic acid at 5 to 10% without the sensitization facial skin experiences. Your shins and thighs have thicker stratum corneum. Middle layer with near-neutral pH, 5.0 to 6.5. Retinol, niacinamide, and most peptides function in this range. After your acid layer has dried, apply these actives. Niacinamide and peptides can layer together. Both are water-soluble and don't compete for penetration pathways. Check the link below to see products that illustrate proper formulation with encapsulated retinol at 0.1% plus ceramides at near-neutral pH. Final layer with high pH or occlusives, 6.5 to 7.5. Hyaluronic acid and barrier-reinforcing ingredients like ceramides work here. These don't penetrate as deeply. They're drawing moisture into the upper epidermis and creating a protective film. If you're using an oil or butter for occlusion, this is the final step. Never mix retinol and vitamin C in the same application, pH incompatibility. Don't combine niacinamide and pure L-ascorbic acid, may form niacin and cause flushing, though this is debated in recent research. Avoid high-percentage AHAs and retinol together, excessive irritation on body skin despite higher tolerance. Now, adjusting active percentages for regional skin thickness. The skin on your shins is approximately 0.8 to 1.2 millimeters thick. The skin on your abdomen is 1.5 to 2.5 millimeters thick. This thickness difference means a 0.5% retinol formula that transforms your neck might do nothing for your quadriceps. Learning how to choose body-firming ingredients by anatomical location prevents both undertreatment and irritation. Thin skin zones, that's neck, décolletage, inner arms, backs of knees, need gentler percentages and richer vehicles. Use 0.15 to 0.25% retinol, 2 to 3% niacinamide, and 2% caffeine maximum. Opt for cream or balm textures that minimize evaporation and extend contact time. These zones show crepiness first, but also irritate fastest. Start conservative. Medium thickness zones, abdomen, hips, outer thighs, upper arms, tolerate standard percentages. 0.25 to 0.5% retinol, 3 to 5% niacinamide, 3 to 5% caffeine. Gel cream textures work well here. This is where most clinical studies test body-firming actives, so published percentages usually apply directly.
Thick skin zones, buttocks, outer thighs, calves, upper back need higher concentrations or longer contact time. Consider 0.5 to 1% retinol, 5% niacinamide, or leave-on peptide treatments. These areas also benefit from physical exfoliation, dry brushing, AHA lotions at 8 to 12% to thin the stratum corneum before active application. Keratinized skin on shins and calves can block penetration entirely. 30 seconds with a 10% AHA lotion 3 times weekly dramatically improves subsequent active absorption. Your décolletage might redden with a formula your thighs absorb without reaction. This isn't sensitivity, it's anatomy. Next, selecting complementary actives for synergistic mechanisms. Collagen synthesis, elastin protection, and adipocyte regulation happen through different cellular pathways. The most effective firming routines combine ingredients that address multiple mechanisms, rather than layering 3 variants of the same active. Understanding how to choose body-firming ingredients for complementary action maximizes results without exponentially increasing cost. Retinol plus peptides. Retinol upregulates collagen gene expression via RAR receptors. Peptides like matrixyl signal fibroblasts to produce more collagen and hyaluronic acid. They work through different pathways and can be layered in the same routine. Retinol at night, peptides in the morning, or both at night, with retinol applied first after pH normalization. Caffeine plus L-carnitine. Caffeine stimulates lipolysis, fat breakdown, through CAMP activation. L-carnitine transports fatty acids into mitochondria for oxidation. Together, they address both stages of localized fat reduction. Look for body creams with 3% caffeine and 1 to 2% L-carnitine. This combination costs around $18 to $25 for 6 ounces in brands like Bliss or The Body Shop, versus around $80 to $120 in luxury alternatives with similar concentrations. Niacinamide plus ceramides. Niacinamide increases ceramide synthesis. Adding exogenous ceramides, 1 to 3% in formulation, reinforces barrier function from both endogenous production and topical supplementation. Essential for firming thin, crepey skin, where barrier disruption causes water loss and loose appearance. Vitamin C plus vitamin E plus ferulic acid. Classic antioxidant synergy protects existing collagen and elastin from UV and pollution-induced degradation. Vitamin C at 10 to 15%, vitamin E at 1%, and ferulic acid at 0.5% create stability and enhanced efficacy. Apply in the morning under SPF 50+, non-negotiable for body skin in firming routines. UV degrades new collagen faster than actives can build it, creating a frustrating cycle of 2 steps forward, 3 steps back.
DMAE plus alpha-lipoic acid. DMAE, that's dimethylaminoethanol, provides immediate tightening through muscle stimulation, while alpha-lipoic acid at 0.5 to 1% offers antioxidant protection and anti-glycation effects. This combination appears in many body-firming formulas, targeting immediate visual tightening plus long-term structural improvement. Avoid redundancy. 3 different peptides in the same routine offer diminishing returns compared to 1 peptide plus a retinoid plus an antioxidant. Now we're getting into mechanical enhancement for active penetration. Topical actives work better when you optimize skin's receptivity. How to choose body-firming ingredients includes understanding that even perfectly formulated products underperform on skin with thick stratum corneum or poor microcirculation. Strategic mechanical enhancement doubles absorption without doubling product cost. Dry brushing, 3 to 5 minutes before application. Natural bristle brush in upward strokes toward lymph nodes thins the stratum corneum by 15 to 25% temporarily, increasing penetration of larger molecules like peptides. Brush dry skin before showering, then apply actives to damp skin post-shower. Do this 3 to 4 times weekly, not daily. Overexfoliation compromises barrier function and causes inflammation that counteracts firming benefits. Microneedling with 0.5 to 1 millimeter needles creates temporary microchannels that allow peptides and growth factors to reach the dermis.
Body skin tolerates longer needles than facial skin. Roll in multiple directions, vertical, horizontal, diagonal, over thighs, abdomen, and arms after applying a thin layer of peptide serum. Frequency, every 7 to 10 days maximum. Gua sha or massage tools, 5 to 10 minutes post-application. Flat jade or stainless steel tools manually push products into skin while stimulating blood flow and lymphatic drainage. Work in sweeping motions from extremities toward heart. This is particularly effective for caffeine-based formulas, where improved microcirculation enhances the active's vasoconstrictive effects. Occlusive wrapping, 30 to 60 minutes. After applying actives to target zones, wrap with plastic film or wear compression garments. This occlusion increases hydration in the stratum corneum by 60 to 80%, dramatically improving penetration of water-soluble actives like niacinamide and hyaluronic acid. Don't sleep in occlusion. 30 to 60 minutes 2 to 3 times weekly suffices. Strategic timing. Apply firming actives within 3 minutes of showering while skin is hydrated and pores are dilated. Skin permeability increases 3 to 5 times immediately post-shower and returns to baseline within 10 to 15 minutes. This timing costs nothing and improves results more than doubling product quantity.
Establishing measurement protocols and realistic timelines. Firming results unfold slowly. Without objective measurement, you'll abandon effective routines prematurely or persist with ineffective ones too long. The final step in learning how to choose body-firming ingredients involves tracking dimensional and visual changes to identify which actives actually work for your skin type. Baseline photography. Same lighting, same pose, same time of day. Take photos from front, side, and back of target areas before starting. Repeat every 2 weeks. Use a consistent landmark for framing, doorway, tile lines to ensure scale consistency. Visual assessment alone is unreliable. Your brain adjusts to gradual changes. Circumference measurements. Measure upper arm at bicep peak, thigh at mid-quadricep, waist and hip weekly. Record in spreadsheet with date and notes about menstrual cycle, hydration, or dietary changes that might affect fluid retention. Look for 0.5 to 1 inch reduction over 8 to 12 weeks in targeted zones. More dramatic changes suggest water loss rather than actual tissue remodeling. Pinch tests. Using calipers or consistent finger pressure, pinch skin on inner arm and outer thigh. Thinner skin that rebounds faster indicates improved elasticity. This is subjective but useful for tracking crepiness reduction in areas like décolletage, where you can't measure circumference. Realistic timelines by active. Caffeine, 2 to 4 weeks for temporary depuffing, 6 to 8 weeks for sustained microcirculation improvement. Niacinamide, 4 to 8 weeks for barrier reinforcement and elasticity improvement. Retinol, 8 to 12 weeks for collagen synthesis and visible framing, 6 months for maximum benefit. Peptides, 6 to 10 weeks for initial plumping, 3 to 6 months for measurable firmness change. Hyaluronic acid, immediate surface plumping, 4 to 6 weeks for deeper hydration and skin quality improvement. When to pivot. If you see zero change after 12 weeks with a properly formulated product at effective concentrations, either the active doesn't work for your physiology or your application method needs adjustment. Try increasing percentage, adding mechanical enhancement, or switching to a synergistic combination. Some people are non-responders to specific actives. Retinol increases collagen in 60 to 70% of users, but does nothing for the remaining 30% due to genetic variations in RAR receptor density. Let's cover some pro tips and common mistakes. Layer from thinnest to thickest consistency regardless of active percentage. A thick cream applied first creates a barrier that blocks subsequent serum penetration even if the serum contains more potent actives.
texture determines penetration order more than ingredient hierarchy. Patch test on inner arm for 3 to 5 days before full body application of any new retinoid or high percentage acid. Body skin tolerates more irritation than facial skin, which paradoxically leads to over-application and subsequent sensitization when you don't feel immediate burning. Delayed irritation shows up 72 to 96 hours after first use. Don't neglect SPF 50+ on treated areas. Retinol, AHAs, and vitamin C increase photosensitivity for up to 7 days after application. UV exposure destroys new collagen formation faster than actives build it, creating a frustrating cycle of 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Apply sunscreen to neck, décolletage, arms, and any exposed area receiving firming actives. Mineral formulas with 20% plus zinc oxide work well on body skin without the white cast that facial skin shows. Most common mistake? Expecting lifting from topical products. No cream or serum literally lifts sagging skin. They improve surface texture, hydration, and stimulate new collagen synthesis that incrementally thickens skin and makes it appear firmer. Actual lifting requires mechanical intervention, threads, surgery. Manage expectations. Topical actives improve skin quality by 20 to 40%. They don't reverse severe laxity. Second most common mistake? Using too much product. Body skin requires more total product than facial skin due to surface area, but concentration per square inch should remain consistent. A pea-sized amount of retinol serum covers one thigh. Using more doesn't improve results, just increases irritation risk and cost. Measure products with a pump or spatula to maintain consistent application amounts. Third mistake? Stopping at 12 weeks when you see initial results. Collagen remodeling continues for 6 to 12 months with consistent use. The first 8 to 12 weeks show improvement from hydration and surface changes. Deeper structural firming takes sustained application. Build this into your permanent routine rather than treating it as a short-term fix. Some frequently asked questions: can I use the same firming ingredients on my neck and my thighs? No, you should adjust concentrations and formulation types based on skin thickness. Your neck skin is 0.5 to 0.8 millimeters thick with minimal fat padding. Use maximum 0.15 to 0.25% retinol in a rich cream base to prevent irritation and provide occlusivity. Your thighs are 1.5 to 2 millimeters thick and tolerate 0.5% retinol in a lightweight gel without issue. The same ingredient at the same percentage performs differently across body zones due to variations in skin thickness, sebum production, and barrier function. Always start conservative on thin skin areas like neck and décolletage, then increase concentration based on tolerance over 2 to 3 weeks.
How do I know if the active percentage listed is actually effective? Check the INCI ingredient list position. Ingredients appear in descending concentration order until you reach components below 1%, which can be listed in any order. If retinol appears in the first 5 ingredients, it's likely present at meaningful concentration, 0.25% plus. If it's in the last third of a 30-ingredient list, it's probably below 0.1%. Cross-reference with manufacturer technical documents or contact their customer service directly for percentages. European and Korean brands often provide this information even when US brands don't. Look for clinical studies on the specific product or similar formulations to see if tested concentrations match commercial versions. When percentage information is entirely unavailable and the brand won't disclose it, that's often a red flag for trace amounts marketed deceptively. Yes, these concerns involve different structural issues requiring distinct active mechanisms. Cellulite involves fat herniation through weakened connective tissue plus poor lymphatic drainage. Target this with caffeine at 3 to 5%, L-carnitine at 1 to 2%, and retinol at 0.3 to 0.5% to stimulate lipolysis and strengthen the dermal-epidermal junction. General laxity from collagen loss and elastin degradation responds better to peptides like matrixyl at 5 to 8%, retinol at 0.5%, and niacinamide at 5% to stimulate collagen synthesis and improve elasticity. You can address both simultaneously by using a caffeine-based formula on areas with visible dimpling, posterior thighs, buttocks, and peptide-rich formulas on areas with loose, crepey texture, inner arms, lower abdomen. How long should I wait between applying different active ingredients? Wait 3 to 5 minutes between layers to allow pH adjustment and initial absorption, particularly after applying low pH actives like vitamin C or AHAs. The skin's pH naturally rebounds from acidic formulations within 3 to 4 minutes. Applying a neutral pH product too quickly can disrupt this normalization and reduce efficacy of both products. After retinol application, wait 5 minutes before applying peptides or niacinamide. Retinol needs direct contact with skin, not buffering through another product layer. Hyaluronic acid and occlusives can be applied immediately after the previous layer feels dry to touch, usually 2 to 3 minutes. Total layering time for a complete body firming routine should be 10 to 15 minutes from cleansing to final occlusive. Longer wait times offer diminishing returns and make compliance unrealistic. If you find yourself rushing through layers, simplify your routine to 2 to 3 complementary actives rather than trying to apply 5 separate products with perfect timing.
To wrap this up, choosing body-firming ingredients by skin type transforms ineffective routines into targeted protocols. Map your body's distinct zones. Oily back skin needs lightweight caffeine serums. Dry décolletage requires rich peptide creams. Thick thigh skin tolerates higher retinol percentages. Verify that active concentrations reach efficacy thresholds, 0.25% plus retinol, 2 to 5% caffeine, 3 to 8% peptides, 3 to 5% niacinamide. Match penetration vehicles to your skin's permeability and layer by pH. Adjust percentages for regional thickness differences. Your neck needs gentler formulas than your calves. Combine complementary mechanisms rather than redundant actives. Enhance penetration with dry brushing, microneedling, or occlusion techniques. Establish measurement protocols and give actives 8 to 12 weeks before evaluating effectiveness. This systematic approach delivers luxury-level results from budget formulations when you understand the chemistry behind the marketing. That wraps up this episode of Luxury Beauty on a Budget podcast. Thanks for listening all the way through. New episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you've always got something fresh coming your way. If you got something out of this one, would you mind leaving a 5-star rating and a quick review? It actually makes a real difference, helps other people who are looking for this kind of information find the show. And hit subscribe or follow so you get notified the second a new episode goes live. Appreciate you. Talk soon.